Confusing the internet for the real world is probably something you shouldn't do. Hey, my name's George and welcome to You Are So Much More. Just want to do a little bit of a positive video. Want to just remind you all, because I am certainly guilty of this as well, that we look on the internet, we have a look and we see what's going on. There's always death happening, there's always pain happening, there's people offended, there's people upset, there's people triggered, and there's an awful lot of social political discussions that are going on at every given moment. Every time a new film comes out, there's people with different opinions. Every time a new video game comes out, there's people with different opinions, and no matter what it is, there's always negative takes on things. Sometimes those negative takes are warranted, often not. The thing is though, is that we spend so much time on the internet, it is very easy to mistake it for the real world. There's been so many times when I've been reading things online and having a look at social discussions and so forth, and it seems so negative, so angry, and you can't help but think, wow, this world sort of sucks a little bit. Like, that's the general consensus. If I go on the internet right now and I'm like, yeah, the world sucks, you know what? A lot of people are going to be agreeing with me, even though they don't even know what I'm talking about, because there seems to be a general discomfort with reality currently. That being said though, I look outside my window. It's a beautiful freaking day. It was a nice day yesterday. I went for a little walk before. I bought myself a coffee and I got myself a sandwich. I haven't treated myself to something like that in a while. It may seem like a very simple thing, but I felt fancy doing it. Put me in a good mood. And I'm walking by. There's all these nice people everywhere. You know, people smiling at each other for no reason. The people who served me were really nice. And I just like being out and about, breathing in the fresh air. But right before doing that, I was looking online. And of course, online, frankly, a lot of the times suck. But the thing is though, is that we confuse that for the real world. Just want to put some positivity out there and just remind you, like, hey, life's pretty cool. You go online, everyone's talking about, keywords to trigger people. It's like everything's sexist, everything's racist, everything's something phobic. There's all these people always arguing and this and that. The thing is though, and like you're forgiven for making the mistake just like I normally do, is all of this is artificial drama for clicks. The internet is not free. You pay your internet service provider. You go to websites, you look at podcasts, you're on, different social media apps interacting with each other. Every single one of those things is a moneymaker. Anger, triggering people sells. And so of course, every single website and every single influencer out there wants reach, wants influence, wants money. You do that with drama. And so when you see drama absolutely everywhere, you see drama enough times, even if you know it's a lie, you're going to think that's life. But life is so much better. Life is nothing like what the internet shows us. It's just so accessible because we have these mobile phones that continuously connect us to the internet. It feels like the internet goes with us everywhere we go. Whereas once upon a time, you needed to, have a desktop computer, have an internet connection, have the Ethernet cord, have it plugged in. Only then were you online. Whereas now you're always online. And now the boundaries, the bridge between reality and online seems to get a little bit mixed up. But it's not the case. It's beautiful. When I walk out there, I was served by one chick who was of a different ethnicity. No one cared she was a woman. No one cared the color of her skin. I talked to some other people at the cafeteria. They didn't care. I didn't care. I walked by, I saw another group of people who looked nothing like me. They didn't care. They weren't crossing the street to avoid me. I wasn't trying to avoid them. But that exact same outing, if you read that story on the internet, it would be nasty. It would be nasty, my interaction with a woman would have been bad, and I would have cared about her skin color, or maybe she wouldn't have felt uncomfortable because you can tell I'm European and so forth. All these fake rage. Life's actually rather beautiful. It's nice. Step away from the internet every chance you get. I try to use it less and less as time goes on because I literally just feel myself more happy. I remove social media apps from my phone all the time. I give myself little breaks. And when you're not feeling good, I think about the world in general, right? I think the best thing to do is one of two things. One, and I don't mean to talk down on you, I promise, but go outside. Go outside, talk to your friends, talk to your family. Be reminded by reality over what you've seen artificially created online. Go outside and say, oh, everyone's actually really getting along with each other. No one cares about anything. Like, you can literally go outside right now, go to a shopping center, walk up to anyone, smile, and they'll probably smile back. And if they don't smile back, it's only because, well, you're a stranger and they're like, why is that guy smiling at me? But otherwise, it's frankly a beautiful existence, you know? Everything's nice. Everything's nice. We are the best we have ever been in society as a whole, you know, men and women getting along with each other. Yeah, things are good. It's a friendly reminder in case you're feeling bummed, in case you're feeling a little bit down, that, hey, life's actually good. Even if you get bombarded on the internet, through your social medias, left, right, and center, we need to fight against this, we need to fight against that, you know, we have allies, you know, are you an ally? And I keep saying this in my videos, and I'll keep saying it as well, is if you hear anyone use the word ally, step away, because ally implies that you have enemies, and my friend, no one's at war here. Not in this space. No one's in actual war. We're just all people, some more confused than others, trying to get by in life. And honestly, there's a good amount of people who spend time on the internet and who go down rabbit holes with deep social political discussions, who, going back 20 years or so when, you know, all this technology wasn't available, those sort of people would have done well to keep away from what is just a little bit too advanced for them. I'm not saying if people have different political opinions or social thoughts and expressions that they have no right to talk about it, but for a long time there was just people who liked getting into politics, and there was people who thought that was a headache and they just kept well away from it, right? We recognize our own weaknesses, our own strengths as well. But at the moment, because it's so accessible, because it's in the privacy of your own home, when you're on the toilet, you're bombarded with all this information and this and that, and people have gone confident and they feel, yeah, I should get behind certain protests, certain this, certain that. I should uplift people and try to be a good person. But those same people, a lot of the times, are not equipped to actually understand what's going on. So they get emotionally manipulated and they're thrown a little bit all over the place. And then whenever you ask them how they're going, they feel bad. You feel bad. Have you ever noticed, my dear viewer, that when you're speaking with friends, the more politically driven, I'll use that phrase, the more politically driven a friend is, and the more time a friend spends on, you know, Twitter and online discussion forums and so forth. Is it me, or does those friends, and I certainly have them as well, that the more they are into that stuff, the less happy they are in general? And I don't believe it's because they simply know more than us and so they can't help but feel down. I think it's the opposite. I think they've been manipulated too much, because life is good. Life is good, you know. Everyone likes to use the term, you know, the world is on fire. No, it's not. It's not, you know. We have our struggles as adults, you know, like the cost of living is actually really, really freaking high. You know, when I went down the street and I bought my coffee and just a loaf of bread, you know, with like egg and bacon in it, a little bit fancy or whatever. I'm not even going to say how much that cost me. That cost me way too much, right? We can talk about that. You know, there's little struggles here and there and adjustments that we need to make. Okay, but the world on fire, all these unhappy people, this and that. Step back. Dare I say, as a religious man, also maybe get a little bit of religion in your life as well. For me personally, I grew up in a religious family, but it didn't become a personal thing for me until I was about 15. And for me, it really helps me keep me grounded. It helps keep me humble. Also, frankly, I like the idea that we are seen for what we do. I like the idea that, you know, every time I'm a bad person, every time I'm extra selfish, every time I do things I shouldn't, frankly, I like the idea that there is a higher existence such as myself who will judge me for that. Keeps me on my feet, makes me a better person, in my opinion. Anyway, this video isn't about religion, even though it goes with me everywhere in my life. This video is just about wanting better, focusing on the better things, being more happy, being less judgmental, being more humble, being more grateful for what you have. I think we all know when we're being manipulated, or if you don't like hearing the word manipulated for some reason, try to learn if you're just being taken on an emotional roller coaster. Like, good or bad, does your day depend on what information you scroll through when you look at your phone? If yes, if whether or not you have a good day or a bad day literally depends on what random article you see appear on the internet or what political discussion is happening, if your happiness is dependent on that, that is a mistake. Your happiness should come from within, and everything else is an extra bonus. Anyways, God bless you all, take care. I'll see you for the next video. All right, bye-bye.